Over the years, I've seen that even reps who are great at overcoming most objections aren't prepared to overcome price objections. No matter how experienced they are, it throws them off their whole game. It shouldn't. Overcoming price objections is easy if you know the secrets. In this video, I'll show you how you can overcome this key objection and walk away from your meeting with a deal in your pocket without discounting your price or losing the deal because you didn't have an answer when your customer said, "This is too expensive for me." You probably already know that mastering price discussions is important, but did you know that almost 6 in 10 buyers want to discuss pricing on the first call? And where there's a price, there will most likely always be price objections. At some point, the prospect's going to ask the inevitable, how much does this cost? And a key thing that a buyer is considering when evaluating your offering is the price to benefit trade-off. That being said, the least effective course of action you can take as a salesperson is to dive right in and answer the question. Rattling off figures, options, and discounts is not a recipe for success. The best way to overcome price objections is by not overcoming them. And I know that sounds a little like something Yoda would say if he was a sales manager, but what I mean is that if you anticipate the price objection and you cover it during the sales call, you won't even have to overcome an objection about price. This is a general takeaway about how to be a better salesperson. Don't wait for your prospects to raise objections, not just for price, but for any objection. Raise it first and deal with it, and that way you own the objection, so it's easier to overcome. In a sales meeting, one thing that you're really doing, and people don't usually think about it this way, is lowering the prospect's resistance to your message by addressing their objections and concerns throughout the whole meeting. You increase your credibility by bringing things up proactively. It shows that you understand your prospect. The prospect is saying in their minds, he understands. I was going to raise this objection anyway. I was concerned about the price, and he just brought it up. And keep in mind that once a prospect has taken a stand and made an objection, it's an uphill battle to make them change their stance because you're already in an argumentative frame in your interaction. Also, if they raised the objection first, you come across as being on the defensive, and you're giving explanations. You're not in the driver's seat and you've lost control of the interaction. So what are the steps to anticipate and handle the objection before it's been brought up? Here's how I would handle this at my company. So as a lot of you know by now, I'm the CEO of Badger Maps. It's an app for field salespeople. So first, I would bring up the objection and empathize. Mrs. Prospect, a lot of people ask about price, and that's always an important thing to talk about. And I would just bring that up during the call at the appropriate time. So what you do is you let them know that you can resolve the objection by focusing on the value of the product. With my situation, my product, I'd say, once the sales team is using this, the value is really clear. But like a lot of things in life, until it's up and running, there are always a lot of questions. Next, you demonstrate why the price is appropriate, taking into account where they're coming from. You know through your pre-call that the customer has decided to buy something, but are deciding between you and your competitors, then how you play this part is different than if they're trying to decide to buy you or nothing at all. If you find yourself in a situation where you're up against a low-cost competitor, and let's face it, these days it feels like everybody has a low-cost competitor, then maybe your response is, well, Mr. Customer, although our price is initially higher, our product costs less over time because it does more, it works better, and it integrates to your other systems. And if you look at the two next to each other and try them both out, it's pretty clear why the total cost over time is lower, and what you get out of our product is worth a lot more. Let me show you how. On the other hand, if you find yourself up against an option of doing nothing, this is sometimes called your greatest enemy, the status quo. It's your job to show how much they won't gain, and that means how much they're going to lose. And remember this, you always want to position things as a loss as opposed to a potential gain. And this is because studies show that for some reason people hate losing things, but they aren't as bothered by giving up potential gains. But anyway, if you're up against do nothing, you need to show the return in cash that they will lose if they don't buy your product. Show them on a dollar value what exactly they'll be losing if they don't use your product or service. Every month they don't buy your product. If it's far greater than the cost that a rational buyer would buy. Then of course, after you've made your point, verify that the objection has been overcome. Make sure you get the nod that the price is appropriate. Mrs. Prospect, does it sound right, given this analysis, that your organization is losing $20,000 a month by not having this solution in place? And if she's nodding her head and your service costs $2,000 a month, well, then you've got a sale. All right, so now we've covered how you can successfully anticipate an objection and why this is the best way to go. Now's a great time to put this video on pause and just write down how you will get ahead of this objection and write down a script that you'll say. Then practice that in front of the mirror. Stopping the price objection can be planned out beforehand. Thanks for watching. If you like what you've seen, share and subscribe. See the link in the description below to get all the field sales training videos that I've made. And happy selling, everybody.